What's up, guys? Charlie with Summit Construction Group, out here on another job. We're on a vinyl siding replacement that started a couple days ago up here in Maple Grove. So the roof was done in the fall. Today it's April 24th, 2020. So we're in the middle of this siding job. The front has not been done here. You can see the dumpster. Supplies are over here on the grass. Guys have been working on the back and right side's a little bit on the left. Front is the toughest, typically with the most cuts and different components, but coming around to the back here, see the fellas are working down there putting the new siding on. They've got the new moisture wrap up there. This is the old moisture wrap, which will come off. Some of the old siding's up there still. Tear that off. You can see they've got their ladder jacks here. Let's go all the way up. They're secured up into the roof. You can see everywhere where they put this moisture wrap. This is that white material. They tape all the seams, so code requires that you overlap the moisture wrap by 2 inches at all seams, and then you got to tape the seams. So that's that red tape that you're seeing there. And every new siding job requires moisture wrap or fan fold. Fan fold is a foam that comes in sheets that goes behind the siding. Moisture wrap is typically more common. But you see they're putting the siding on here. These panels come in, I think these are, what are they, 12-foot lengths? Let's see if we can find out here. I'm not sure if it says in the packaging, but I think they're about 12-foot lengths here. We got some Dutch lap siding, so that's the profile. Double 4.5-inch laps. There's 2 4.5-inch laps per piece of siding. Come down here. You can look here. This is some J channel down here on the bottom where the siding locks into. They'll use J channel on the angled edges. On the horizontal edges like this, you see this metal piece. It's called starter strip. So this is the existing starter strip. We don't replace it. Typically we reuse what's there, but on the horizontal edges, the bottom of the siding will get locked into this. We start at the bottom, nail up. You can see here, this is the Build Right sheathing, also known as structural wall sheathing, about either 1/2 inch thick or 3/4. The 3/4 inch thick Build Right is no longer made. If Build Right isn't used, OSB is typically more common. Come up here, you see there's moldable tape that goes around all the windows. And then if you zoom in on top of the window, it's kind of tough to tell, but there is a piece of drip cap that goes on top of every window, which is required by code. So any window or door or any piece of trim, horizontal trim that protrudes from the siding must have an L flashing on top of it, or actually, excuse me, a Z flashing. So that flashing wraps down over the bottom of the window, goes horizontal, and then goes 2 inches up the sidewall. So you can kind of tell here from the video. See the back of it there. See on the siding here, the installers are nailing in the siding at the top of the nailing fin, securing that siding in. This is their machine down here where they do their angled cuts to the bottom. You got your white corner post there. Where the butt ends of the siding lock into. Corner post gets nailed to the wall. Come back here and take a look at the back. The back is all done. Looks great. Nice dark color, which 5-10 years ago wasn't very common because a lot of the vinyl siding at that time would fade. And so if they used dark colors back in the 90s or early 2000s, it would end up looking like crap a few days or a few years later. But now they mix new color fast in with the dyes, and they typically warranty all these sidings against excessive fade. So it looks good for a long period of time. Come in here, you can look at some of these areas that are done. You can see the drip cap here running along the top of the window. Again, gotta have that every time. You can see the J channel. This is standard stuff, J channel that goes around all the perimeters. Kind of like your outside corner of the siding needs something for the end to kind of lock into. You've always got your perimeter edging. You've got an inside corner piece here. A lot of times people like to do these outside corners in a different color to provide a little contrast. So this looks pretty nice here. You get the white corner post, which contrasts nice with the white fascia, white windows. Come over here, I'm doing some tear off. This neighborhood was kind of strange because all these houses had something I personally had not seen before, and it was this fiberglass foundation covering. So this stuff was problematic for a lot of the people in this neighborhood. And it's, you can kind of see it, it's like thin restaurant wall material, basically. But on this house, one of the conditions of this job is the homeowner, Michael, his front foundation covering had fallen down. And it was all out of sorts. And so he wanted that fixed. It's, you know, it's not something the insurance company would cover. It's not something the siders really do. So as a sales guy to get the job done, I told him, hey, I'll get it figured out, get it repaired. So anyway, the first day they started the siding, I came in here, I dug these rocks out, and I just brought my shovel and metal rake and dug down about 6-8 inches next to this wall here. Tried to pull out the old covering, couldn't get down deep enough, so I cut it. And then it was kind of tricky because there was yellow foam with furring strips all along this front, which wasn't designed very well. But anyway, when we were taking the covering off and the siding, those furring strips broke, cracked, and snapped right off. And I don't know if you can see them, but these are what those furring strips look like. It's actually just a piece of plywood. It's kind of hard to explain or show you guys, but it's little strips of plywood that's about, I don't know, 1/4 inch thick. And behind this little furring strip is actually more yellow foam. So if you look here, you're pressing, this stuff isn't secured into the concrete wall very well. Some of it's kind of adhered to the concrete wall in spots, and they did take some concrete nails and try and secure some of this stuff, but it's not secured that great. So you got this whole wall which is covered in this stuff. This is all concrete behind this sidewall here. And his framing and his concrete block stops somewhere right around here. And his framing, his bottom plate, starts somewhere right around here. So from here up, you've got framing. From here down, you've got concrete blocks. So anyway, the deal is this stuff just isn't that secure, so we got to be a little careful when we're ripping the siding off and putting new siding on. The previous siding job was actually done with staples. I think because of that reason. But anyway, so we had a little bit of a challenge. I was out here, thought it was going to take me an hour or two. I spent basically the whole day out here trying to figure out how to get a new foundation covering up, because when I removed the old one, all the furring strips broke and I had nothing to secure this foundation covering to. So I ended up going and getting some 1x3 pieces of lumber and got a concrete nailing device and nailed this lumber into the concrete, and just did some strips a few feet apart, and then I did a strip running all along the bottom. So now what's going to happen is on this corner, even though it looks a little bit jagged, what they're going to do is they're going to extend this new siding corner piece all the way down so it'll look nice and clean when it's done, and then the new siding will start right below the bottom row of tabs, and everything's going to look pretty good when the new siding goes on. So kind of a weird situation, you know, but that's what we do when we need to get a project done. We want to make things happen. We got to find solutions and just jump in and figure stuff out. So that's kind of the name of the game. You run into a lot of different situations and you just got to figure it out. You know, you got to do a little research, come up with a plan. Sometimes as a sales guy or a project manager, you got to get your own hands dirty, but you know, that's what we get paid for. So anyway, front of this house, we're gonna end up doing some shakes in the gables. We're gonna have a LP belly board that runs between the siding and the gable shakes. Shakes over here in the garage. These half moons are gonna come off, throw them away. All the shutters are coming off. I'm gonna throw those away. He doesn't want shutters on. And then this trim, instead of doing aluminum above and below each window, we're doing big vinyl lineals, which are, they're about 4 or 5 inches wide. Trim that's going to go around each window, just to kind of give the home a little accent there on the front. And then once all that's done, a painter's going to come out, paint this archway. I'll show you guys some of the siding components over here. We got our J blocks. So what lights get mounted to, other siding accessories, outlets. Faucets. Well, the faucets actually get mounted to something slightly different, but like this. It's a split box. You can see there's a split there, so that way they can take the box apart, wrap it around whatever they need to wrap it around, and still get a nice clean finished look. Excuse me. These are the lineals here. So this is going to go around each window. It's a vinyl trim. We're also going to put them in as freeze board on the inner edge of each gable here for a decorative finished look. You can see they're already up there. If they're existing, you can see freeze board in each gable up here. And we're going to take that off and put new stuff on. It's all vinyl. You can do it also in hardy or LP trim, but in this case, since we're doing vinyl siding, it makes sense to run those pieces in vinyl. Let's see what else we have over here. This is a box of that foundation covering. Call it Nudo. tubs that I bought to put some of that dirt in when I was digging away from the foundation. A couple boards left over. See some of our trim pieces down here. Shakes are sitting over there. Let's see if we can open these shakes up. Show you guys these shakes. Take a quick peek here. So the shakes come in long strips. So this is double 7. That's what it's called. So each strip is 2 rows. Each row is 7 inches tall or 7 inches wide. About 4 feet long, 3.5 feet long. Yeah, this is the Royal Portsmouth model. Double 7-inch cedar shingle, so it's the profile. But yeah, this stuff will go up in the gables there. It's gonna look pretty good. And you can see they brought some different colored J-channel to match that pebble clay color of the shakes. And we got our Woodland Retreat J-channel for the main siding color, and then we got our white corner posts, and then our white lineals, and all the J blocks, split blocks are the same color as the siding. Same thing with the dryer vents. There's a bunch of little exhaust vents. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Bye bye.